What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 220 of the Idiotic Sports Talk. I'm your host, Liam Gavin, coming to you live from my bedroom. Today, I want to give you all the NFL Divisional Playoff Round recap. So there is 8 teams that entered, and only 4 advanced to their conference championship game this past weekend. And the quest to the Super Bowl, it continues. But then there were 4. We saw this weekend, we saw one team blow out another team and just coast their way to their conference championship game. We saw another team look pretty rusty, but they put it together when it mattered most. We saw another team reach the conference championship game for the first time in over 3 decades. And last but not least, a familiar face is advancing after winning another classic postseason battle against a rival that they've had plenty of times in the playoffs, plenty of times in the regular season, and just a ton of action. So make sure to watch this video if you missed anything. Let's start the Saturday games. The number 1 seed Ravens beat the number 4 seed Texans 34-10. Lamar Jackson, 152 passing, 2 touchdowns, no picks. He also had 100 rushing yards for 2 rushing scores. Isaiah Likely, the tight end, with a touchdown catch, and Nelson Aguilar with a touchdown catch. As for the rookie CJ Stroud, 175 passing, no touchdowns, no picks. Steven Sims Jr. had a 67-yard punt return touchdown, and Nico Collins 5 catches for 68 yards. So the Ravens handled their business with a 24-point blowout win at home. They advanced to their first conference championship game since 2013, and their offense had 381 total yards, no turnovers. They also had 34 points, and the run game exploded for 229 yards. They also had 22 first downs, while the Texans only had 10. At the time of possession, Baltimore had the ball for over 37 minutes, while the Texans just had it for 22 minutes. Absolutely dominant performance by the offense of the Ravens. And as for their defense, they didn't force turnovers, they didn't get any sacks, but they played elite against the run. They were great on 3rd and 4th down, and they gave up less than 215 total yards for just 10 points. Lamar got his second playoff win of his career, and it was in such stellar fashion as well. He also had 252 total yards, 4 total touchdowns with no turnovers. You could say that performance was Lamarvelous. There was a great team effort by everyone, offense, defense, special teams, coaching, and they outscored the Texans 59-19 in 2 games between the both of them this season. And believe it or not, the Ravens clinched their first AFC Championship game appearance, where the game will be played in their stadium, which is crazy to think because they've been to quite a few AFC Championship games, but none of them have ever been hosted on their own turf. And that extra week of rest really paid off, and they're ready to go. As for the Texans, their stellar season comes to an end. Their offense didn't turn the ball over, but they couldn't generate anything. They had 0 touchdowns on offense. They scored 3 points, as their only touchdown was from a special teams punt return. And then 213 total yards. They were 4-12 on 3rd down, 0-1 on 4th down, and just an awful run game. They had 38 yards. They were outrushed 229, 238, 191-yard differential. And the offensive line didn't allow a sack, but they racked up a ton of penalties. The Texans had 11 penalties for 70 yards. The score was 10-10 going into the first half, but then were outscored 24-0 to start the second half. And the defense had 3 sacks, no turnovers, but were absolutely gashed against the run. Oh, excuse me. And it was just a hell of a season by the Texans. They overachieved, no doubt about it. Their record last year was 3 wins, 13 losses, and 1 tie. They were the worst team in the NFL, and now this year they bounced back 10-7, AFC South champions, winning a playoff game and made it to the second round. Nobody saw this turnaround, this rebuild coming so quickly. And the rookie CJ Stroud, absolutely amazing season. Best rookie quarterback season of all time. He was in the MVP conversation. He should win Offensive Rookie of the Year. The defense is going to be in good hands with their first rounder, Will Anderson Jr., and many more studs. And their head coach, D'Amico Ryans, is building something special over there. In my opinion, he's got to win Coach of the Year. And the future is bright down there in Houston. The next game, the number 1 seed Niners beat the number 7 seed Packers 24-21. Brock Purdy, 242 passing, 1 touchdown, no picks. Christian McCaffrey, 98 rushing yards and 2 scores. George Kittle, the tight end, 4 catches, 81 yards, and a touchdown. As for Jordan Love, 194 passing, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks. Aaron Jones, 108 rushing. The rookie Bo Melton with a touchdown catch, and the rookie tight end Tucker Kraft with a touchdown catch. So the Niners win an absolute nail-biter. They advance to their 3rd straight NFC Championship game appearance, their 4th NFC Championship game appearance in just 5 years. And it was far from an easy win, though. They had to overcome 6 penalties for 83 yards and a missed field goal in the final seconds of the first half. And then the offense had 363 total yards. They rushed for 111, 10-16 on 3rd down, no turnovers as well. They trailed 21-14 to start the 4th quarter. They got a field goal. They go down 21-17. With over 6.5 remaining, the Packers miss a field goal, which leads to a Christian McCaffrey touchdown. And the Niners will lead 24-21 with 1 minute left. The next Green Bay possession, Love throws his second pick. Game is over. Brock Purdy, the offense, the defense, they didn't have a great start, but in the 4th quarter, they all showed up, outscored the Packers 10-0 in that 4th quarter. And the defense had no sacks, but they did have 2 picks, both picks leading to 10 Niners points. And then the other pick was the one that sealed the game. And it wasn't a pretty win, but it was still a win nonetheless. The Niners still proving that they're the best team in the NFC. They won 5 straight playoff games against the Packers, 3 of them coming in 5 years. As for the Packers, their magic runs out. It was a hell of a fight by them. Multiple mistakes costed them this game. In the 1st quarter, up 3-0. They're in 49ers territory. Could have went for a field goal, but they were stopped on 4th and 1. 3rd quarter, up 21-14. Jordan Love is picked, which led to the Niners field goal. 4th quarter is up. Missed field goal leads to the go-ahead Niners touchdown. And then last but not least, Jordan Love threw his second pick, and they say goodbye to their season. Their offense had 330 total yards. They ran for 136, 7-13 on 3rd down, but they were 0-1 on 4th down, along with other mistakes that I mentioned just before. And their defense did pretty well. They got a sack. They forced no turnovers, though, and they overachieved, no doubt about it. No one had high hopes for this team at all, but they snuck into the playoffs as the youngest team to ever make the playoffs. They beat my Cowboys. They went toe-to-toe with the number 1 seed Niners. And Jordan Love showed why Green Bay really doesn't need Aaron Rodgers. He absolutely balled out. Awesome experience for this young team, and they got a bright future out of them. On to the Sunday games. The number 3 Lions beat the number 4 seed Bucks 31-23. Jared Goff, 287 passing, 2 touchdowns, no picks. Amon-Ra St. Brown, 8 catches, 77 yards and a touchdown. The rookie Jahmyr Gibbs, 74 rushing yards and a touchdown. Josh Reynolds with a touchdown catch, and Craig Reynolds with a rushing touchdown. As for Baker Mayfield, 349 passing, 3 touchdowns, 2 picks. Mike Evans, 8 catches for 147 and a touchdown. The tight end, Cade Otton, 5 catches, 65 yards and a touchdown. And the running back, Rachaad White, 55 rushing yards and a receiving touchdown. So rejoice, Lions fans. You guys made it to your first NFC Championship game since 1991. The last time the Lions made the NFC Championship game, I wasn't even born yet. Barry Sanders was their running back. Their current head coach, Dan Campbell, was playing high school football. Tecmo Bowl on Nintendo was the best video game out. And texting didn't even exist. I wouldn't even be able to make this video for you guys back in 1991. So they came a long way. They earned their spot after a back-and-forth battle. We'll recap that. 1st quarter, 3-3 tie. 2nd quarter, game was tied 10-10. 3rd quarter, ended in a 17-17 tie. And here's where the 4th quarter happens. The Lions open it up with a 31-17 lead as 6.5 minutes remain. But the next Bucks drive, they convert a huge 4th and 14 play. A few plays later, Bucks score a touchdown. And what happened was they failed a 2-point try. It was a very questionable no call where Mike Evans seemed like he was held in the end zone. But whatever, the refs didn't call it. And the Lions would lead 31-23 with 4.5 to play. Next Lions possession, they ends in a punt at the 2-minute warning due to an incomplete pass. The Bucks get another crack at the game, but with a 1.5 left, Baker threw his second pick. Lions would seal that game with the interception after an epic action-packed game. And their offense had 401 total yards. 114 came on the ground. They avoided turning the ball over. The defense had 4 sacks, 2 picks, one which ended the game. Jared Goff, the run game, and the O-line stepped up in crunch time, outscoring the Bucks 14-6. And way to go, Detroit. Your time is now. It was a long time coming, way overdue, and it's good to see them make it there. As for the Bucs, so close to victory, made unfortunate errors. Their mistakes, dropped interception in the end zone in the first quarter. They missed a field goal in the second quarter. They failed the 2-point attempt late in that fourth quarter, which could have been an extra point. They had 2 picks, the one early that led to the Lions field goal, and the second one to end the game. Costly penalties extended Lions drives. As their offense had 438 total yards, they struggled with the run, just 89 yards, 4-12 on third down. Crappy O-line play, and then their defense had 2 sacks but couldn't force any turnovers. Hell of a fight. It's unfortunate to end your season this way. It was such an overachieving season as well, because last year Tom Brady leaves, Baker Mayfield arrives, no one expects much, but Baker Mayfield balled out. The Bucs finished 9-8, won the NFC South, won a playoff game, and Baker revived himself. In my opinion, he deserves a payday. The next game and the final game was the number 3 seed Chiefs beating the number 2 seed Bills 27-24. Pat Mahomes, 215 passing, 2 touchdowns, no picks. Travis Kelce, the tight end, 5 catches, 75 yards, and 2 scores. Isaiah Pacheco, 97 rushing yards for 1 touchdown. As for Josh Allen of the Bills, 186 passing, a touchdown, no picks, 72 rushing yards, and 2 rushing scores, and Khalil Shakir with a touchdown catch. So the Chiefs emerge as victorious in another showdown between them and the Bills inside of the postseason. Chiefs are now 3-0 against the Bills in the postseason, and they got their revenge after their Week 14 loss. Let's recap this action because there's a lot to go over. So the first quarter ends in a 3-3 tie. Second quarter, Bills jump up 10-3, but the Chiefs respond with a field goal, make it 10-6 Bills. Then late in the quarter, the Chiefs score a touchdown to make it 13-10. But then with 3.5 minutes left in the first half, the Bills go all the way downfield, and then with 30 seconds left, they score to end the half 17-13 with the lead. Third quarter starts, the Chiefs waste no time. They go downfield, they score and lead 20-17. But the Bills get a touchdown of their own, and now the third quarter comes to an end, and the Bills are leading 24-20. Fourth quarter starts, here's where all the chaos is. The Chiefs started off with a touchdown. They extend their lead to 27-24. The Bills, they fail a fake punt on their own 30-yard line, but luckily for the Bills, the Chiefs fumble through the end zone on a touchback. The Bills would have to punt, then the Chiefs would have to punt, and then the Bills in the final minutes would march downfield for the game-tying kick, but they miss it. Tyler Bass misses it wide right. I know Bills fans hate hearing that word, and the Chiefs go on to win. The Chiefs offense, 361 total, 146 rushing. Despite going 1-5 on third down and having the ball for 25 minutes versus the 37 minutes for the Bills, they were able to get it done. The offensive line was absolutely phenomenal again. And then when you look at the few plays, and then when you look at their defense, they didn't get any sacks. They didn't get any turnovers, but they forced a lot of incomplete passes, were able to stop the clock and get the ball back to their offense. And like I said, you can't count out the Chiefs. 6 straight AFC Championship game appearances. As for the Bills, it ends wide right. As I said before, I know you Bills fans hate hearing that word since the Super Bowl back in the 90s. But they missed the field goal kick with Tyler Bass. And in my opinion, they played way too conservative late in the game. They also made a lot of mistakes. I mean, the failed fake punt with Damar Hamlin, very questionable. I don't know what they were thinking running that play. Stephon Diggs had a huge drop late in the game, too. He absolutely fell off this season. Ever since after Week 6, he's probably been one of the worst superstar wide receivers in the league. Their offense, 368 total yards, great run game with 182, 7-14 on third down, 2-3 on fourth down. They ran 78 plays versus the Chiefs, 47, but they were stagnant in the fourth quarter and got nothing done on offense. The defense had no sacks, 1 fumble, a couple ugly penalties, and they had no reason to lose this game, yet they found a way. They are bounced from the second round of the playoffs again. The Chiefs are truly their kryptonite in the postseason. And is the Bills' window finally shut? What's going to happen this offseason? We're going to see. And that's it for the NFL Divisional Playoff Round recap. Let me know what your guys' thought was. What was your favorite game, your least favorite game? What surprised you? If your favorite team is still in the playoffs, are they advancing or are they going home? And remember, just let's communicate and talk football. I love talking football. I'm sure you do too. And don't forget, subscribe to this exact YouTube channel. Follow me up above on my Instagram account. I would greatly appreciate it. Take care and enjoy your day.